Hello, everyone. James Baker here. I'm so happy to be here today. Really high energy, really excited. And I have a bunch of stuff to talk to you guys about. Mostly, I'm going to be answering questions, and hopefully, some people can show up and ask me some questions in the lives. I've been really blessed to have a lot of people in the calls, in the meetings, asking a lot of questions live while we're here, and I've been able to answer and help out a lot. So, Danny, make sure you let the guys know in the groups, the Telegram, and the Discord that we are live, so that they can jump in and that we have all the questions, because there's a lot of good questions in the groups this week in the Telegram group. And if you don't know about it, we have a Telegram group. It's probably better to get in than the Discord group. The Discord group's cool. It's free, but it's not the Telegram group I'm way more active in. I was trying both and I just can't commit to Discord. It's too much. It's too crazy in that place. So definitely check out the Telegram if you have questions. And I guess if you're new here and you've never heard of me before, my name is James Baker, as I already said, and I am an international tax advisor. I'm a licensed CPA in the U.S., in the state of New Jersey, funny enough, if you want to look me up. And I work with clients from all over the world, and I help with taxes. So if you're an American leaving the country and you have questions, or if you're a foreign person who wants to invest in the U.S. or open companies in the U.S., we would love to help you out, because that's what we do. We want to make our clients' lives easier and save as much money on taxes as possible. So with all that said, in this live that I'm doing now, that I do every Thursday, like and subscribe so you can be in tune and get the notification bell or whatever, so that you can don't say whatever, it's really important. So you can know when I'm doing this next week. I'm pretty good at my times at 1 p.m. I'm looking forward to doing this on Thanksgiving Day in 2 weeks at my parents' house. So let's get to some of these questions. And again, if you're here, post a question. I'm happy to answer it. Oh, and first, some quick news, since I don't really want to do the questions yet. I want to look into what's happening with FTX. So FTX news. If you are what's the word, like investing in cryptocurrencies and you're interested in that, I've been told by 2 different clients today on calls that FTX went bankrupt and people can't get oh my gosh, let's open some articles and let's look through some of this stuff. I'm going to share my screen because this is more interesting for me and no one's here to ask any questions. And I think it's really important. This is breaking news. So breaking news here. I'm going to share this window. I'm going to share Binance backs out. So yeah, CNBC says Binance backs out of FTX rescue. FTX is one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, and apparently the owner ran out of money. So we jump over here. Crypto billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried blames himself for FTX collapse. He admits he effed up. Well, when you have how old is this guy? 22? Like, give me a break. He's sorry, man. He effed up and should have done better. A post comes as the one-time hero of the crypto sector is begging for billions of dollars to stave off bankruptcy. I also should have been communicating more very recently. Possible Binance. I wasn't particularly allowed to say much public voices on me that we ended up here in the first place. So he's trying to sell the Binance. He's winding down Alameda Research, a trading firm he co-founded so Alameda was his, and that's really the problem. So I'm not a crypto expert, but I am going to be meeting with crypto experts and interviewing them and learning more about it together in interview style, and going over news and current events and creating that for my clients on the channel for you guys. So if you're following the channel and you're interested in crypto, comment and let me know, because I'm going to be talking more about this stuff. Not like all the time, but it's specific a lot of times, because it's really important. A lot of my clients are super interested in the cryptocurrencies, but this is crazy. Earlier this year, the exchange was valued at $32 billion, but now he's looking for someone to backstop after Binance pulled out of a deal to acquire. What happened, though? Poor internal labeling of bank-related accounts, which meant he was substantially off in the sense of his user's margin. I thought it was way lower. Oh, yeah. On Sunday, the exchange had $5 billion in withdrawals. Wow. I guess I have $78 in my FTX US account, which is still open, but FTX International is still locked from what I've heard. They're $8 billion short. So I have clients with money in FTX. I'm really anxious for them and hoping that they can get the money out before just getting it sucked up and lost forever. Again, I don't know much about the space or what even happened. I just know that if you have money in your FTX account, FTX US account, take it out immediately. And if you have money in your FTX International account, it's probably already locked. This is what I don't like about centralized exchanges. I keep my money in crypto off on the DeFi on the other web, so that it's I can always take it out if I want to. Sorry about that, Danny. I know that was a tangent, but it's something I wanted to look up really quick and see if it was true, and it looks to be true. So actually, this is a great. So let's segue into the questions that I have from this week. I'm actually going to present this as well because it's important. Share screen. Again, share my screen. So how can I get a copy of my ITIN letter? That was a question we had in the meeting last week. And I contacted the IRS, and this is what they told me: to request a duplicate of this letter, the taxpayer must submit a written request to the IRS ITIN unit to the following address right here. Get out. Like, why is this? I don't want this in the way. Can I get rid of that? Oops. So if you need a written copy of your ITIN letter that you lost, you can find it right here. Again, this you have to email them. You should include the taxpayer's legal name, the assigned ITIN, date of birth, country of citizenship, and updated mailing address if applicable. So it would just say, hello, IRS, to whom it is concerned. This is my updated, I request a copy of this letter. My name is this, my birth date, my address is this, and they'll mail it to you. So that's how you get a copy of your ITIN letter. It's actually really easy, but I'm happy you asked. And like I said, I'm here to help, guys. Ask me the questions and I will find you the answers. This is something that was asked last week and I'm posting the answer now. Question 2, can I use a Wyoming LLC to do a BPO type operation for a US company, such as a sales closer, technical support specialist, or using remote workers as a non-resident? A client needs help in business development. Any thoughts? I do have thoughts on this, of course. This is a really contentious area. So a US trade of business would be having a dependent agent in the United States. And I don't know if there's no one here, so I feel like I'm going to go into the code a little bit, because in the tax code, we can see what is the definition of a dependent agent. Basically, if someone has the power to make decisions on behalf of the company and is working for you and under your control, they could be considered an employee or or a dependent agent. To make them an independent agent, all you have to do is I would recommend an agreement with them. And then I would also recommend that when they don't have right to enter into any agreements on behalf of the company. So a salesperson can maybe prepare the contracts, but they need to be signed by one of the foreign partners or one of the foreign owners. But hiring contractors in the U.S. is not necessarily a red flag. It's only an issue potentially when you have employees in the U.S. And this is an issue I have some clients who are investing heavily in the crypto space and in the tech sector. And basically they are hiring employees in the U.S. And we set up U.S. corporations and they're hiring employees directly and paying them directly. And they have like a U.S. business. And it's because they have so many employees in the U.S. and they're actually working full time for them. I have another business, however, that's located out the U.S. and they pay a service, and I have to check what service it is. But this service basically hires and manages the payroll for all of the employees, and it's like the same thing, but it's a way more of a gray area, because basically they're hiring an agency to deliver services, and that agency has all the employees. So if you need to have U.S. employees, open a separate company and separate your structure a little bit so that you can make sure that the profits that you want to receive are earned outside the U.S. from your work, and that most of the stuff in the U.S. can be more of like a cost center to just run through the, increase your costs and to capture all your costs in the U.S. So that's what I would recommend from here. It is a little case by case, but it's definitely possible to have people working for you in the U.S. and still not have a U.S. trader business. Do I need a business license or any kind of sales tax registration in my LLC formation state to start doing drop shipping from outside of the United States? Yeah, I would probably recommend Well, if you're doing it depends how you're doing the drop shipping. So first, you don't need a business license if you're not doing business in the state. So I wouldn't recommend, if you have a Florida LLC or a New Mexico LLC or anything, to get a business license in the state unless you're doing business in the state. I actually have a number of Florida LLCs and Wyoming LLCs that aren't even licensed to do business in the state because I don't really use them for like a physical business. The only business I have registered in the state of Florida is like my main corporation that is on the lease for my office, and that is, like where I employ myself and everything. So unless you have employees and stuff, or you need a resale certificate, I wouldn't register in the state. So that leads me to the next point. It says sales tax registration. So if you're buying from Alibaba and you're doing drop shipping from like AliExpress, like the traditional drop shipping model is, they are starting to withhold sales taxes, AliExpress. So you need to talk to your provider and see if they require a resale certificate or if they're going to charge you sales taxes. So it's definitely case by case. If you're using one provider, maybe they don't need it. Maybe they're going to invoice you from China. If you're just doing it product by product, just advertising products directly off of AliExpress and then buying them and setting up the automation so it's buying and shipping directly to them, then you might actually need the resale certificate so that you don't have to pay those sales taxes. So other than that, you don't really need to register for anything. And Lucy, yes, of course, I'm going to answer the chat questions first. I'm always way more down to communicate with my peoples in the chat. These are all just old questions that came up that I'm just recording and answering here. So put your question in here. I'm gonna bang out one more of these, and then I'll answer your question. Tell me about yourself. I'd love to learn about your business and help you out. Question 4: do I need special licensing to offer business process outsourcing type of operation in the U.S. as a non-resident? And this is the same kind of question as before, the same kind of business, but do you need special licensing in the U.S.? So for most businesses, if you are not doing business in the U.S., you don't need a U.S. business license. And having a U.S. business license hurts your case that you're not doing business in the U.S. If you have a business license in the U.S. and you're registered to do business in the U.S., then that's contrary to the position you're taking that you don't have a U.S. trade or business. So maybe if you have a corporation and you're doing a certain business in a certain state, you need a license. But generally, if you're using an LLC and you're trying to do everything remotely and out of the system, then I would say don't get a license. Special licensing is most important for the high area of risk things like money service businesses, insurance businesses, and like crypto businesses. All of that stuff have much higher risk. So it is like those might need licenses, but it's really hard to get into those businesses with just an LLC. Usually you need more. Excuse me there. I'm gonna move these over here so I can read without looking away. Trying to make it look like I'm saying this and not reading it. This question is for a single member LLC. Will be formed in Wyoming with an NRA owner, mobile app developer to receive royalty payments from AdSense. We need to fill a W-8 form. My questions are, I'm not sure if I need to fill a W-8 BEN or W-8 ECI. I'll make the apps in my home, release it on the store for my global audience, and estimate most users will be from the US if that matters. Payments will be sent to my LLC business account. So that's great. I actually, I'm grateful to have all you people on my YouTube channels. I actually made like $150 last month from AdSense for my YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much. I'm reinvesting all of that into unnecessary expensive equipment like cameras and microphones. So thanks for supporting the channel. Most of my work is done on the side with private client stuff, but I'm saying all this because I know I'm an American. So when I registered the tax part from AdSense, I knew they were never going to withhold taxes because they don't have to. But when a U.S. company is paying royalties from the U.S. source, which is a U.S. audience, to a foreign person, they're required to withhold taxes. It's a very standard thing. So if you give them a W-8 BEN, honestly, I don't know the answer if you give them a W-8 BEN or W-8 ECI. The difference between here's the difference between a W-8 BEN and W-8 ECI. The BEN is just for a foreign business. The ECI means that you have effectively connected income. That's what ECI means. And ECI means that you have a U.S. business and your income is subject to U.S. tax. So actually, Ben, I love you, man. Thank you. Actually, I want to share this with you because W-A ECI. If you fill out a W-8 ECI, I don't think they'll withhold taxes, but you're subject to tax on this income pretty blatantly, and you'll get a 1042-S, I believe. So let's look at this together because I haven't. I'll give you a little story about this one next. Share screen, window. So here we have the W-8 ECI, right? Let me zoom it in a little bit. So this is the main part, right? Certificate of foreign persons claim that income is effectively connected with the conduct of a trade or business. Your business technically isn't, but it can't. You can claim that, and when you claim this, I don't think they're required to withhold taxes, but you're basically certifying that you're doing business in the U.S. and all your income is subject. Well, all of this income is subject to U.S. taxes. It's effectively connected income. So this is a really interesting case study because what I would normally recommend in these examples is I would recommend that you add a partner like your mom or your cousin or your son or your wife or whatever to be the owner of your company so that you can have a partnership, like a 1% owner. And if you have a multi-member LLC, you can give them a W-9. And then they won't withhold on that either. And then you can file a tax return and it gets a little more muddled in terms of the reporting. Technically, the income to the partnership should be U.S. source, but we can minimize that in different ways. So it sounds like you're just getting started. I would try out one of them and just see how it goes. The W-8BEN, they'll probably withhold taxes. The ECI, they probably won't, but then you're also telling them that you're going to pay taxes. I don't really know how they're going to do it because, to be honest, I've never had a client with that experience who's done it this way. Most of my clients, I recommend they do the W-9s or they do a W-8BEN, and the taxes are withheld. Like 26% is what they withhold. It should be 30%, but they've been usually just withholding 26% from my experience. But again, you try it, confirm it, and then we can always change it and switch it. That's always something that we can fix. But it sounds like you're just getting started. The most important thing is to make the money first. If you're already advanced and you're already making a lot of money, then schedule a private call and let's look at it and do it together. So good question, though. Really good question. Luis, nice to see you again. Hi, James. About ITINs, is there a way to know if you owe something to the IRS? I filed a 1040-NR and paid online, but I never got any invoice or confirmation. Classic IRS won't tell you anything. If you're paid in full, they're not going to send you anything. They're only going to send you money if you, they're only going to send you a notice if you owe them money. So if you don't owe them anything, they don't send you a confirmation. You can call them and ask for confirmation. You will get a letter with the ITIN. What I've started doing, what I've realized, and this is breaking news about the ITINs, is that you can file the 1040-NR with zero income and just indicate that you're required to file a tax return and they'll still process the ITIN. So I was doing it with like $400 of income or whatever, and I was paying $40 of tax. And one time, like, they closed one of my accounts and I had like 50 checks bounced and I had like 50 clients get letters that they owed $50 to the US government. It was a really scary looking letter. Of course, like, I paid it and everything, but it was like really annoying. And that was like something to deal with, but now you don't really have to. But to answer your question, you don't get any confirmation. You can call them if you need it, but just wait for the ITIN. So Ben wants to know this is just a follow-up to the last question, but I guess, Ben, a lot of money, it sounded like it was starting, so it was zero. If you're making 20 grand a year, and you're getting 20% withheld, that's, what's that, $4,000? That's worth a call, So it depends what it's worth to you. Generally, I'm talking like if you're making a couple $1,000s a month, then it might be worth it to look into. I don't know what more I can offer to it other than obviously I can get the W-9 and go through that and fix that, help you fix that. But really, for the W-8 or W-8 ECI, I don't know what's going to be different. So I would try both. And like I said, if you wanted to, like, if you, in my opinion, and this is with my clients, if you're making let's say as a ballpark, if you make $100,000 a year, you should probably just focus on doing that and making more money, and then not spending hours upon hours on like figuring out this tax and legal stuff. It's just my personal opinion as an entrepreneur. I pay attorneys. I could sit here and write out contracts and learn to do it the right way, but I have software and I have affiliates, but I always, no, I'm not, Ben, I'm not nomad capitalist. I'm just a simple man over here. One day I'll have limits, but no, I'll work with anyone who wants to pay for my services, who wants peace of mind. I have clients that make 40 grand a year that pay me just to make sure it's done right so that they can keep focusing on getting to the next level. So I work with people on all scales. It doesn't matter. But I mean, I don't want to, like, it's not an ideal client if you don't even have your business started. If you don't have your business started, you're in the right spot on the free calls, getting all the questions answered here. But if you want to get it done faster with my team and cut some corners and figure stuff out and more efficiently, then that's where you would work with me personally. But at the same time, I'm still here answering these questions for the guys who like to be there. Yeah, cool. Nice. Looking forward to talking to you. Started working with 2 new Bens last week. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? I'm going to answer Ram's question. I'm importing coffee from Ecuador to Miami while living in Miami. How many companies/corporations are necessary here and there for tax purposes? Exciting to hear about FTX news here. Yeah, my man. Share any links that you want me to bring up, because I think crypto is super interesting, but I was obsessed last year, and every client that paid me with crypto, basically I used that money to invest poorly in the crypto market and lose it. In January of this year, I realized that if I would have just invested in the stock market, I would have had a lot more money at the end of the day. So I basically cashed out everything in like January, February this year, just gave up and haven't even looked at it since. I just started working with a client who does crypto stuff, and they paid me in crypto like last week. So I have like a little bit of money in my crypto wallet, and it's just like, what should I buy with it? I'm got to cash it out. But let me answer your question. Okay. How many companies or corporations are necessary when I live in Miami and I'm importing coffee from Ecuador to Miami? I don't think you need a company in Ecuador. You probably can just buy it and have it shipped. I think it would be unnecessary. It's just like you don't need a U.S. company to buy stuff from the U.S. So I don't think you need a company in Ecuador. I don't think it helps at all. It might, but I have a number of Ecuadorian clients, and it doesn't seem to be like helpful in most situations. So I would explore not using that. And then you can have your main business here. You have your own unique income tax situations, as a U.S. resident. So like you have way more things to consider. Generally, you just start with an LLC. You can open a Florida LLC and open a bank account, and then just use that for all the business stuff. I like it. A huge reason for people starting stuff like this is to keep the banking separate and to keep your accounting more organized. Even if you're not doing accounting, if you use one account for everything, it's much easier to figure it out later. So, and to see if you're making money, right? And then if you open an LLC now, we can meet in a couple months and review the tax situations and review what's possible in terms of the tax savings, tax planning, all the U.S. tax stuff. But yeah, just a U.S. company is perfect for that. And I would brand it the right way, that's pretty cool. And coffee has got really expensive recently. So if you can supply and provide, I have a client who does like CBD coffee. Was pretty interesting. Colombian coffee. But yeah, coffee's awesome. I drink it every day. I like cold brew. But yeah, I think, if you have any other follow-up questions there, let me know. I think that's it. Ben, I have clients in Poland too. I've never been there myself. I've heard good things. Great weather this time of year. Danny loves coffee. Yeah, so Ben, I have clients in Poland and they use LLCs. So if you're from Poland, like I said, I have clients from Poland who use LLCs, and they are, I don't know the tax laws in Poland. I need to have a couple of conversations and go through a couple of things with experts in Poland, which leads me to I have 5 attorneys linked up. I'm starting a expert interview sequence, basically where I'm going to be interviewing tax experts from other countries to discuss all of the stuff that my viewers and my clients are doing, and I'm going to really go through these issues and so that we can get answers. So I'm gonna announce those. I think I'm gonna like do a couple recorded and then try and get them on a live one. These are not people who love the camera as much as me, but I'm gonna be in that too. So if you have a really great Polish tax person, I'm happy to meet with him too. I'm just trying to hit all the countries in whatever time I have. Cool. So let me jump to cool beans, Greek coffee. Okay. We have number 6 here. I don't understand this question. In terms of taxation, in exchange of the WABEN, a 1042S is given. How exactly is this reflected on 1040NR? So the question is, how do I complete 1040NR if I get a 1042S? And I'm happy to answer a actual tax question, a really procedural tax question. I'm going to bring up these forms, form 1040NR, because I don't think you actually have to file a 1040NR if they withheld all the taxes from the 1042S. So let me check this. Let me get the print version because I like these better. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to see if you actually even have to file, because I don't think you actually have to file. So here we are, right? Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's see. Filing requirements. You must still, okay. Who must file? Okay. Oh, we went over this last meeting, right? If you are a non-resident engaged in trade, you must file even if you have no income. When do you not need to file? No. File in a state of trust. Basically, what happens is, let's go to the Form 1040NR. Form 1040-NR. I don't think you have to file, and I'll show you why. I want to go to the actual form. Okay, this is it. Cool. And we need to go to Schedule A, Schedule NEC. Yeah. Let's see if it's actually on here. The NEC, this one. So I feel like you don't have to file, but I'm going to confirm it right now. Form 1040 NR Schedule NEC. So this is the form right here. And basically, if you get a 1042S that said you earned, let me zoom it in. You earned whatever, $10,000 of dividends, tax 30%. Then the tax is going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be whatever, $3,000. But that should have been withheld on your 1042S. So I need to figure out, and I don't have the, oh, Danny, we're running out of time. This is going so quick. I got to figure out the, oh, damn it. I want to find the answer. Form 1042, damn it, 1042S instructions. Let's just ask Google. I have to file Form 1040 NR if I got a 1042S. Yeah, I don't know. I think you, if you don't, there shouldn't be any additional tax due, but you might be required to file. I don't know the answer exactly. and I didn't have time to find it in this like 8-minute section. So the answer is maybe. I'll keep looking into it. Okay, let me stop screen share. So I have some questions from my friend in here, Lucy. Oh, she's in a fun gray area. So Lucy, I have an LLC in Texas. It's a partnership. I'm legally in the US, but I do not have a green card yet. I'm providing digital marketing, digital translation services. My clients are from Texas. I have 2 contractors for each of the service I provide. One is in Spain, one's in Mexico. Do I need to withhold tax before paying my contractors? No, you do not need to pay taxes before paying your contractors. They're foreign. It's all good. No taxes there. Do my contractors need to fill out a W-8? Sure, you can ask them to fill out a W-8-BEN. It's technically you should do that. Do you need to charge your clients a sales tax? Now that's a fun question. Texas, we did this like 4 weeks ago. It's Texas sales tax rules on services. There you go. Texas Comptroller goes over taxable services. So the term taxable services is really for, in the end, it's for services delivered in Texas to other Texans. So if you're delivering service in Texas to Texas, then there's a tax on the services. So taxable labor is the one we're looking at. So they say, in addition to taxable service noted above, which we have personal services, you can go to, you see how I Googled it, you can go to this website and dig in a little bit more. Other types of sales that may commonly be considered services are taxable as the sale, processing, and remodeling of tangible property. For example, example of labor that result in the sale of a taxable item include this stuff. That's not it. Information services. No, that's not it. No. So I guess not. I thought that some services were subject to tax here, but you can look into it more about your personal services. Also, Turkish baths and massage parlors apparently, and escort services are subject to taxes. Oh wait, that's okay. That's really interesting. Telecommunication. Yeah, I thought it was, but maybe it was something else. I wouldn't do it, but it sounds like I think that's pretty clear. I wasn't sharing my screen, but yeah. Yeah, so I don't think you need to charge a sales tax. I'm going to post the link to this in the chat so that you can get to it, because I thought I was sharing my screen. That's the Texas website where you can see what is subject to sales tax in Texas based on services. Good questions, Lucy. Thanks for showing up and asking your questions. I answered the question 7 already, Danny. Question 8. If I registered an LLC on October 20th, 2022, when exactly should I file Form 5472 with the Pro Form 1120? You should file this form on before April 15th of 2023. So the tax year is January 1st to December 31st. So if you open your company at the end of the year, it's just a short year filing. And I have a new, I'll announce that later, but it's a great way to do it. Like it's something you have to do, and it's not that hard to do. And we have a new service that I'm really launching, a real bare bones service where we just open the company, and I'll include my courses on instruction on how to keep the company legal, so that you can get the company and the EIN and the courses and stuff for a lower amount. I still have to determine like all the detail. I have to like set it up tech wise, but that's going to be out for cheaper, like under $1,000, like $500 or something, where you can get access to all the courses you need. And I'll just basically be the registered agent. I'll basically only opening Wyoming LLCs and, managing all that for you. So that's going to be really cool. I also have the mastermind that I'm setting up now and launching that too. So I'm excited. I'm going to talk more about this stuff as I get it rolling more. I'm very busy with all these different things, but I answered that question. You guys are live and I want to talk to you about it. I don't know who's going to rewatch this and get to minute 34. Question 9. I'm a Canadian resident and a referral partner for a U.S. LLC company. The company sent me a WABEN form to fill out, and I need help to fill it out. Oh, I need to take this off my screen. So I think it's time. I'm going to make this how to fill out form WABEN in 2023. Title it, Danny. I'm going to present my screen, and we're going to just do this WABEN because, to be honest with you, it's really, really easy. Windows, this one. So, if you're watching this and you're trying to fill out your WABEN, you're in the right spot. So this was the question I got. And if you want to, and if you're new and you're just seeing this video and you're like the channel, subscribe. I do these calls every week. I'm answering all these questions. So let's go to the form WABEN, and let's also be smart and hit the instructions. So let's do the about, and let's do this one. The about should have the instructions, and the instructions actually give you their instructions on exactly how to do it. So I don't know all the answers to everything, but I'm going to fill this out for the guy who asked that question. I don't know his name, though. His name is Mr. Fred is his name. He is from Belgium. His resident, do not put a PO address. This can be Belgium. And then this is going to be, Antwerp. What's the capital of Belgium? Let's just put Belgium City. Country, Belgium. I'm not embarrassing myself with these cities. Mailing address, you can leave it the same because they're not going to mail you anything. This form doesn't actually go to the IRS. This just goes to the person who's paying you so they can prove that they certified you're not a U.S. person. Because it says this is a certificate of foreign status of a beneficial owner for United States tax withholding and reporting. So it doesn't even go to the IRS. It's an internal form. So let's keep going down. U.S. taxpayer identification number, not applicable because you probably don't have one. Foreign tax number, yes. Let me see. You have Belgium tax ID 976542321. So I probably would not, if I had the tax ID, I wouldn't put Belgium tax ID. I just put the number. Let's see when it's not legally required. Let's go to 6B. Dios mío, line 6B. You may check the box on this line 6B if you are an account holder as described for purposes of line 6A, and you are not legally required to obtain a foreign tax ID from your jurisdiction and residence. By checking this box, you'll be treated as providing an explanation for not providing an FTI for 6A. If you wish to provide further explanation why you are not required to provide, you may do so in the margins of the form. So generally, they want this. If you don't have one or your country doesn't issue one, you should know, but then you would check the box. But we have it. Date of birth, let's 1980, whatever. Fred. If you are getting paid from a regular person, if a business is paying you, there's not really a treaty exemption here. You want to confirm that whoever is paying you is not going to withhold taxes. And if they are, and you are in a treaty country, maybe we can figure something out so they won't. But generally, if you're providing a service outside of the U.S., they shouldn't withhold taxes. If you opened up a U.S. brokerage account and you're from a country like Belgium, let's check that out. U.S.-Belgium tax treaty. Oh, here it is, tax treaty documents. That's some other people. Let me see. So we have a tax treaty here. Let's go to they just updated it. I don't want to read that. I want to read the technical explanations. Fine. So you can reference if you're doing it in a brokerage account, you're getting dividends. You go to article, usually it's article 10. Yeah, it's only 6 pages long. Great. So dividends. So if you're working with so generally you review this and see what treaty rate applies. Here's a 10%, here's a 15%. So, you have to read and see what applies and figure that out yourself. because I don't know what dividends this fictitious person is getting. But let's just pretend he is. Belgium. But most people aren't going to fill this out, and the form is done. So if you're not going to fill this out, you click this and you sign it and date it, and you're done. And that's all. It's really easy form, right? But if you do need the treaty, claim of treaty benefits, this is what we're doing right now. Article. So it's going to be art. I'm going to say art 10 paragraph. And let's just check this out real quick. Let's say paragraph 2. Fine. Paragraph 2 to claim a. You're saying 10? Oh, if you own 10% of the company, if you own at least 10% of the company, it's lowered to 5%. So you probably don't in this instance. So we're going to say it's 15%. Dividend income. Explain the additional conditions. No additional conditions. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. If they ask for more info, give them more info. But that's how you can complete the WABEN in 2023 and 2022. The form was last updated in 2021, so the video I made in 2021 is still probably relevant, but I'm going to make another one here. Okay, so that's how you do the WABEN. Good question. Talking a lot today, guys. Okay, Ram. What are the chances you can have a U.S. corporation controlling and operating business operations / land in Ecuador for tax purposes? You can do whatever you want. I mean, there's not like a chance of it. You can do it if you want. I don't know if it's going to make sense for you fiscally to manage all of that. But if you have land out there and you're doing operations out there, then you probably should have a company out there. But I thought you were just buying coffee. But if you own farms and you're making it and then shipping it here, then that's a little bit different, right? So that's a good question. I wouldn't generally recommend overcomplicating taxes. I'm a big supporter of just not overcomplicating things and being a streamlined, organized business person instead of having like all these different unless it's necessary. Some people get swept up into all of the fancy tax avoidance stuff when they're not even making that much money and they're not even paying that much taxes. So I wouldn't really stress out about it too much. Yeah, Ram, if you want to schedule a session, we can talk about it. I have to actually jump over to my Spanish channel now. I showed up a little late for this, but I'm here 45 minutes in. I hope my team can get some value out of it. I hope you guys enjoyed these meetings and stuff. If you liked and subscribed, I appreciate you, and I'm glad you came here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Jump over to the Spanish channel and like it real quick too. Tu Empresa en America. Okay, so I gotta go. Appreciate you all being here. I hope this was valuable, and I'll see you all next week.